In the midst of life's chaos, when the weight of stress feels unbearable, it's easy to forget that we have the power to remain grounded. Stress can be overwhelming, often leading us to feel lost, anxious, or disconnected from ourselves. But staying grounded, even during the most difficult times, is possible. It requires patience, understanding, and the willingness to embrace the present moment, even when it seems like everything around us is spiraling out of control. We all experience stress in different forms. It can arise from the demands of work, personal relationships, or the endless pursuit of something bigger or better. The pressure can make us feel like we are running on empty, caught in a race that seems never ending. But what if, instead of constantly rushing or trying to fix everything, we took a moment to simply pause, to breathe, to connect with ourselves? Being grounded means being present, being in tune with the here and now, regardless of how chaotic the world may feel. It's easy to lose ourselves in the worries of tomorrow or the regrets of yesterday, but neither of those things are within our control. The only thing that truly matters is what is happening in this moment. This present moment is the only place where we can find peace, where we can breathe, and where we can begin to heal. The path to staying grounded starts with acceptance. It's about acknowledging that stress, while difficult, is a natural part of life. It's okay to feel overwhelmed, to feel uncertain. Those feelings don't define us. They are simply temporary visitors. In accepting our emotions and allowing ourselves to experience them fully, without judgment, we can begin to let go of their grip on us. When we are grounded, we are more connected to our inner strength. This is the strength that resides within all of us, even in our most vulnerable moments. It's the quiet resilience that allows us to rise after each challenge, no matter how heavy it feels. It's the ability to sit with discomfort and know that it won't last forever. It's a deep, unwavering trust that we have the capacity to move through anything life throws at us, even when we don't have all the answers. In the midst of stress, it can also help to reconnect with our senses. Feel the warmth of sunlight on your skin, listen to the sounds around you, or take a moment to simply notice the way your body feels. These small, simple acts bring us back to our center. They remind us that even in chaos, we are still here, still alive, still capable of feeling joy and peace. Staying grounded also means setting boundaries. It's okay to say no. It's okay to protect your energy. Often, stress comes from the overwhelming pressure to meet other people's expectations, to do more than we can handle, or to give of ourselves until there's nothing left. But we cannot pour from an empty cup. By respecting our limits, by choosing to take time for ourselves, we are not only preserving our well-being, but we are also showing up as better versions of ourselves for others. Another key element to staying grounded is embracing gratitude. Even in the hardest times, there is always something to be thankful for. It could be as simple as the comfort of a warm bed, the kindness of a friend, or the fact that we are still breathing. Gratitude shifts our focus from what we don't have to what we do. It shifts our perspective from lack to abundance, from chaos to peace. It's important to remember that grounding ourselves is not about eliminating stress or escaping from life's challenges. It's about how we choose to respond to them. We cannot always control what happens to us, but we can control how we react. We can choose to face stress with calm, with patience, and with the knowing that it too shall pass. Every storm eventually runs out of rain, and every challenge carries within it the seed of growth. Staying grounded also involves reaching out for support when needed. We don't have to carry the weight of stress alone. Sometimes, the best way to ground ourselves is by allowing others to walk alongside us. Whether it's through talking to a friend, seeking professional help, or simply sharing a moment of silence with someone you trust, human connection has a powerful grounding effect. Through it all, remember that staying grounded is not a destination, but a practice. It's something we cultivate every day, especially during the difficult moments. It's about learning to breathe, to be present, and to trust in our own ability to navigate life's ups and downs. Stress may always be a part of our lives, but it doesn't have to define us. We are stronger, wiser, and more resilient than we often give ourselves credit for. So, when life feels overwhelming, take a moment to pause. Feel your feet on the ground, breathe deeply, and remember that you are here, in this moment, capable of facing whatever comes your way. Through acceptance, patience, and the simple act of being present, you can stay grounded, no matter how stressful life may become. Staying grounded during times of stress can feel like an impossible task, especially when the weight of the world seems to be pressing down on you. Life can be overwhelming, and the uncertainty, the constant pressures, the responsibilities, it all becomes too much at times. But even in the face of all that, there is a profound sense of peace that can be found. It doesn't happen instantly or with magic. It's something that requires a deep, mindful effort to reconnect with the core of who you are, with the present moment, and with the things that bring you peace. When stress hits, the body often goes into survival mode, and our minds begin to race. We imagine worst-case scenarios and we start spinning, trying to plan our way out of the chaos. But the reality is that most of what we fear has yet to come to pass, and much of it won't ever come true. The mind, in its frantic state, magnifies and distorts the challenges we face. The key, then, is to learn to interrupt this cycle before it takes over. One of the first things to do when stress sets in is to simply breathe. It sounds so simple, but the act of breathing deeply, focusing on your inhales and exhales, can bring your mind back to the present. It brings your awareness back to the body, which is often the only thing that remains constant in the midst of everything swirling around you. Your breath can anchor you in that moment, and as you become aware of it, you may start to realize that you are not your thoughts. You are not your stress. You are the person witnessing it, the one who has the power to choose how to respond. Stress often arises when we focus too much on the past or the future. The weight of things that have already happened, or the fear of what might happen next, can drag us down and leave us feeling helpless. But what if, instead of living in these projections, we bring ourselves back to the only place where life is truly unfolding? The present. Right now, in this moment, everything is okay. You may not have all the answers or solutions, but you are alive. You are breathing. You are here. And that's something worth acknowledging when everything around you feels like it's collapsing. Staying grounded also involves recognizing that you are allowed to feel. It's okay to acknowledge your emotions, even if they are uncomfortable or painful. Feeling stressed doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. The beauty is in how you allow yourself to experience those emotions without becoming consumed by them. Emotions, like everything else, are temporary. They come and go, ebbing and flowing. The important thing is to not identify with them too much, to not let them define you. Allow yourself to feel what you feel, but don't let it dictate your reality. Another key practice in staying grounded is to reconnect with the world around you. When you're stressed, it's easy to become isolated within your own thoughts. But there is beauty in the small things, in the world that exists beyond your mind. Take a moment to step outside, to feel the sun on your face, to listen to the sounds of nature, or to observe the movement of people around you. Sometimes, grounding yourself is as simple as becoming aware of your surroundings and realizing that life is still moving forward, whether you're able to keep up with it or not. Sometimes, you may find it helpful to practice gratitude, not for big achievements or dramatic moments, but for the simple things. The cup of tea you enjoy in the morning, the smile of a friend, the fact that you woke up today. In those moments, you remind yourself that life, even in its most challenging moments, still holds small, beautiful gifts. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's wrong to what's right, and that shift is often all you need to feel grounded again. In moments of stress, it's also important to give yourself permission to rest. We live in a world that often glorifies busyness and productivity, but peace cannot be found in constant doing. The act of rest is sacred, not just for the body but for the mind. It's okay to step back, to say no, to not have all the answers. In those quiet moments of rest, you may find clarity. You may rediscover your strength. You may even find that the solutions you've been searching for were there all along, waiting for you to pause long enough to notice them. Remember that you are not alone in your struggles. Every person you see, no matter how put together they may seem, has faced challenges, has experienced stress, has felt overwhelmed. We all go through these trials, and it's important to connect with others, to share, to listen, and to be heard. Sometimes, the act of simply talking with someone you trust can bring immense relief. You don't have to carry the weight of everything on your own shoulders. Let yourself lean on others when needed, and allow others to lean on you. This shared humanity is what can make the burden lighter. Finally, staying grounded is about finding the balance between acceptance and action. Stress often arises when we resist what is happening in the present moment. We want things to be different. We want the pressure to go away. But the first step in reducing stress is acceptance, not resignation, but a mindful acknowledgement of what is happening. Once you accept the present moment as it is, you can then respond with clarity and focus. From that place of acceptance, you can take the steps necessary to move forward, but from a place of strength, not fear. In times of stress, don't forget that you are resilient. You are capable of handling whatever life throws your way. Stress is a part of life, but it does not define you. The more you practice staying grounded, the more you'll find that you have an inner strength that no circumstance can take away. Your peace, your clarity, and your ability to weather the storm come from within, and they are always there, waiting for you to reconnect with them. In life, we all face moments of intense stress. It's inevitable. The weight of responsibilities, the pressures of expectations, the relentless pace of our world. They all build up, sometimes to the point where it feels as if we are losing control. In those moments, it is easy to feel overwhelmed, like we're caught in a storm we can't escape. But what if we could find a way to stay grounded, to remain calm even when everything around us feels chaotic? One of the first things to understand about stress is that it's a natural part of the human experience. It is not something to avoid, but something to manage. When we learn how to navigate it, we can rise above its grip. We can stop letting it dictate our thoughts and actions, and instead choose how we respond. It's about reclaiming the power to be present, despite the swirling thoughts and emotions that might try to pull us away. The foundation of staying grounded starts with acceptance. We often try to fight stress, hoping that if we push it away hard enough, it will vanish. But stress, like all emotions, has a purpose. It is a signal. It tells us that something matters, that something needs our attention. Instead of resisting, we can choose to acknowledge it, to let it be there without letting it define us. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up or resigning ourselves to a life of stress. It means recognizing that in this moment, we are feeling this way, and it's okay. From acceptance, we can begin to practice awareness. We often get caught up in the rush of our minds, trying to solve problems before they've fully formed or imagining worst-case scenarios that haven't even happened yet. Our thoughts race and we lose touch with the present moment. But grounding ourselves means coming back to now. When stress is building, take a moment to breathe deeply, to feel your feet on the ground, to notice the sounds around you. Bring your attention to the physical sensations in your body. This simple act of being present can often break the cycle of overwhelming thoughts, helping us regain clarity and calm. Another key to staying grounded is remembering to give yourself grace. When stress is high, we tend to be our own harshest critics. We feel as though we should be doing more, achieving more, handling more. But we are human. We have limits. It's okay to pause. It's okay to say no. It's okay to need help. Giving yourself permission to rest, to recharge, to simply be, is not a weakness, it is a strength. It is an acknowledgement that you are worthy of care, not just when things are going smoothly, but especially when the world feels heavy. There's also immense power in letting go. Often, stress arises when we cling too tightly to outcomes. We want things to go a certain way, and when they don't, it shakes us to our core. But in the end, not everything is within our control. We cannot force the future. We cannot change the past. What we can control is how we show up in the present. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means releasing the tight grip of expectation, allowing things to unfold as they will, and trusting that we will be okay, no matter what. Finally, during times of stress, it's important to remember that we are not alone. It's easy to feel isolated when we are struggling, to think that no one understands what we're going through. But reaching out, connecting with others, sharing our burdens, these are ways to ground ourselves. Sometimes, simply knowing that someone else cares, that someone else has felt what we are feeling, can ease the tension in our hearts. We are all navigating this life together, and in our shared humanity, we find strength.